In 2025, one major airline still flies more passengers 747s than anyone else: Lufthansa. While the rest of the industry has embraced twin-engine efficiency, retiring their jumbos and moving on, Lufthansa has doubled down on a 50-year-old design many call outdated. On paper, it makes no sense. Four engines cost more to run, burn more fuel, and face tougher environmental regulations. But Lufthansa has turned the Queen of the Skies into a profitable workhorse, offering premium passenger and cargo capacity no twin-engine aircraft can match. So is this the final chapter in the 747's legendary story, or proof that, in the right hands, even an aging giant can still rule the skies? In this video, we uncover the real reason Lufthansa refuses to give up the 747. Every 747 you see in the skies today is one of the last survivors of a rapidly disappearing species. Back in the 1970s, these massive jumbo jets were the very symbol of aviation. Now, they're vanishing one by one. British Airways, Qantas, United, Delta, Air France all have retired the 747s that were once the pride of their fleets. The biggest reason? The twin-engine revolution. New generation aircraft like the Boeing 777, 787 Dreamliner, and Airbus A350 burn far less fuel, have significantly lower maintenance costs, benefit from streamlined logistics thanks to using just one type of engine, and meet stricter environmental regulations. And with ETOPS certification, crossing oceans with just two engines has become a safe industry standard. Then came the final blow, the COVID-19 pandemic. Passenger demand collapsed, long-haul routes were slashed, and airlines chose to ground their expensive four-engine aircraft. Many 747s ended up in desert storage facilities in Arizona or the Mojave, while others were dismantled and sold for scrap. At this point, Lufthansa made a very different call. Instead of retiring their 747-8s, they turned them into a strategic advantage. On routes with strong premium demand, at slot-constrained airports, and on sectors that required high cargo capacity, these giants still played a critical role. In short, not every airline took the same path during the 747's global decline. Lufthansa managed to turn an aircraft others abandoned into a key asset, and as we'll see in the coming chapters, that decision was anything but a coincidence. For Lufthansa, the Boeing 747 isn't just another aircraft type, it's a legacy that has spanned more than half a century. The German flag carrier took delivery of its first 747 in April 1970, becoming only the second airline in the world to operate the model. Since then, they've flown nearly every variant, from the 747-100 to the 747-8. This long history has given Lufthansa something money can't buy: institutional knowledge. 53 years of operational data, thousands of pilots specifically trained for the type, and maintenance procedures refined to near perfection, advantages no other airline could acquire overnight. That experience hasn't just given Lufthansa operational strength, it's provided strategic flexibility. While British Airways walked away from the 747 due to high costs, and Qantas shifted entirely to fuel-efficient twin jets, Lufthansa kept the Queen of the Skies at the core of its fleet. The decision wasn't driven by nostalgia or sentimentality, it was rooted in hard numbers and business logic. At slot-constrained airports like Frankfurt, the 747's extra seating and cargo capacity allow Lufthansa to maximize revenue. And with the aircraft's ability to offer exceptional comfort in premium cabins, these jets become true revenue machines, selling high-priced tickets to business and first-class travelers. For Lufthansa, the 747 isn't a relic of the past. It's still a powerful strategic tool in today's competitive market. And as we'll see in the minutes ahead, this is only the beginning of a much deeper plan. A typical morning at Frankfurt Airport, every gate occupied, runways buzzing, and takeoff slots worth their weight in gold. For Lufthansa, this is daily reality. The biggest challenge airlines face here is simple: how to generate the maximum revenue from a limited number of takeoff and landing rights. This is where the Boeing 747 comes in. Take Lufthansa's Frankfurt-New York route as an example. If they use their single daily departure slot with a 777 or A350, they'd carry at most 300-350 passengers. But with the 747-8, even in a premium-heavy configuration, they can seat around 364 passengers and still carry an additional about 66,000 pounds of high-yield cargo. That seemingly small difference adds up fast. On a single route, it means 100 extra passengers per day, 700 per week, and 36,000 more per year. And most of them are high-value travelers, business passengers, full fare economy customers, or premium cargo clients. The capacity advantage isn't just about seat count. Thanks to its distinctive two-deck layout, the 747 offers more space for premium cabins. First-class passengers in the iconic nose suites or business travelers in the quiet upper deck enjoy layouts you simply can't replicate on any other aircraft. This combination allows Lufthansa to both lower the cost per seat and boost revenue on every flight. And that's exactly why, for a slot-constrained airline, the 747 remains an irreplaceable weapon. One of the biggest challenges in keeping four-engine giants in service is maintenance cost. For most airlines, those costs become unmanageable over time. Parts become harder to source, skilled technicians retire, and aircraft spend more time on the ground. All of this drives operating expenses up and erodes profitability. For Lufthansa, the story is entirely different, thanks to Lufthansa Technik, one of Europe's largest maintenance and engineering companies. This massive operation doesn't just service Lufthansa's own fleet, it also maintains 747s for cargo operators and airlines around the globe. The result? Lufthansa creates economies of scale in 747 maintenance. With full control over its parts supply chain, the airline can quickly source rare components or even 3D print them, slashing both turnaround time and costs. Complete engine overhauls, landing gear replacements, and avionics upgrades are all done entirely in-house. While many competitors pay hefty monthly leasing and maintenance bills, Lufthansa owns its 747s outright. That means no lease payments, and maintenance costs are purely operational, without any extra financial burden. During COVID, when most airlines parked their 747s, Lufthansa kept them flying cargo missions, continuing to generate revenue instead of letting them sit idle. In short, Lufthansa Technik has turned the 747 from an economic liability for most carriers into a profitable asset for Lufthansa. Lufthansa's 747s aren't just capacity monsters, they're premium revenue machines. In aviation, most profits don't come from economy seats, but from business and first-class passengers. Lufthansa has mastered this reality by pairing it perfectly with the 747's unique architecture. Its new Allegris cabin concept starts with a spacious business class section on the main deck of the 747-8. The upper deck offers a more intimate, quieter business class experience. But the real showstopper is in the aircraft's legendary nose. First-class suites where passengers travel just ahead of the pilots, sealed off with full-height doors, enjoying luxuries like a fully flat bed and a 43-inch curved screen. This layout simply can't be replicated on any other aircraft. The 747's distinctive nose creates a private space that twin-engine rivals simply don't have. Lufthansa uses this advantage to command some of the highest fares in the premium segment. On routes like New York-Frankfurt, a single first-class ticket can exceed $15,000. While premium passengers may occupy only about 20% of the seats, they generate close to 80% of the flight's profit. That's why the 747's large premium capacity remains one of Lufthansa's biggest reasons for keeping the aircraft in service. The Allegris upgrade will roll out in two phases. By 2025, the main deck business class will be refurbished, and by 2027, the upper deck and first class will receive the new design as well. Until then, some aircraft will feature half-new, half-old cabins. But even now, many travelers specifically choose to fly the updated Queen. There's another reason, just as critical as premium passengers, for Lufthansa to keep the 747 in service: cargo. At Europe's busiest hubs like Frankfurt and Munich, every departure slot is worth its weight in gold. Lufthansa uses these slots not only to carry passengers, but also to load high-yield cargo. Even with a premium heavy cabin layout, a 747-8 can carry up to about 66,000 pounds of valuable freight in its lower deck. Much of this cargo consists of time-sensitive, high-priced shipments, luxury auto parts, urgent medical equipment, pharmaceuticals. These types of loads typically generate far higher revenue per kilogram than standard freight. Twin-engine rivals like the 777-300ER or A350-1000 may offer similar passenger capacity, but they simply can't match the 747's cargo volume. This gives Lufthansa a significant edge on lucrative routes to markets like New York, Los Angeles, and Tokyo. For Lufthansa, cargo isn't just extra income, it's a critical factor that offsets the aircraft's total operating costs. Even if passenger seats aren't full, a lower deck packed with high-margin freight can make the difference between a loss and a profitable flight. This is one of the clearest formulas behind Lufthansa's ability to still use 747 and profitable in the same sentence. For Lufthansa, the 747 represents both a major opportunity and a serious risk. Flying a four-engine jet in the mid-2020s may look irrational to many analysts on paper. Fuel prices fluctuate unpredictably each year, and four engines mean higher fuel burn compared to twin-engine competitors, a critical factor that directly impacts operating costs, especially on long-haul flights. On top of that, increasingly strict emission standards from the European Union and international aviation regulators put heavy pressure on fuel-hungry aircraft like the 747. Environmental groups continually spotlight the carbon footprint of four-engine jets, influencing public perception as well. Lufthansa's decision to keep the 747 in service is also a race against the clock. The repeatedly delayed delivery schedule of the 777X has extended the 747's role as a temporary solution. Until Boeing's next-generation twin-engine widebody finally enters service, Lufthansa 747s are filling critical gaps on routes that demand both premium seating and high cargo capacity. But once the 777X does arrive, Lufthansa will need to completely rethink its fleet strategy. In the meantime, maintenance costs and spare parts sourcing remain another risk factor. As the number of airlines flying passenger 747s dwindles, both parts availability and technical expertise are shrinking. While Lufthansa Technik's in-house maintenance capability currently offsets this risk, even that advantage could erode over the long term. Ultimately, Lufthansa's 747 strategy is a balancing act. On one side, unmatched capacity and premium revenue potential. On the other, rising costs, environmental pressure, and looming technological change. As time moves on, keeping that balance will become harder, and Lufthansa faces critical decisions that will determine how much longer the Queen stays in the skies. For aviation enthusiasts, photographers, and frequent flyers around the world, it has become a status symbol synonymous with the German flag carrier. Spotting a Lufthansa 747 taxiing at Frankfurt or Munich isn't just seeing a flight, it's witnessing a half-century of heritage. For premium travelers in particular, the 747 delivers an experience that justifies its ticket price. The legendary upper deck, the distinctive nose section, and the expansive cabin create a sense of exclusivity that no modern twin-engine jet can replicate. Lufthansa leverages this not only to sell seats, but also to strengthen its brand identity. The 747 silhouette regularly features in advertising campaigns, social media posts, and promotional videos. A transatlantic journey aboard the Queen of the Skies reinforces Lufthansa's standing in the premium travel segment. Many passengers even plan their trips around securing a 747 flight just to enjoy that unique experience. These aircraft also forge an emotional connection in Lufthansa's brand story. Since 1970, the airline has operated nearly every variant of the 747, building deep heritage in both operational expertise and corporate image. Each takeoff and landing serves as both a reminder of the past and a showcase of an exclusive modern-day travel experience. In short, for Lufthansa, the 747 is not merely a commercial asset. It's a symbol of prestige, trust, and tradition. That brand power keeps the Queen's place in the fleet strategically valuable, even when pure economics might suggest otherwise. Today, Lufthansa's 747 fleet remains the largest active passenger 747-8i operation in the world. But it's clear this dominance won't last forever. The upcoming introduction of the 777X, tightening environmental regulations, and volatile fuel prices will all directly influence the Queen's future in the years ahead. According to Lufthansa's official plans, the 747-8Is will remain in service at least through the mid-2030s, giving the type nearly 60 years of commercial airline history. But to stay competitive, these aircraft will need ongoing upgrades, modern cabin concepts, efficient engine maintenance programs, and continuously refreshed interiors. At the same time, delays in the 777X program have created something of a second wind for the 747. If the next generation of twin-engine widebodies doesn't enter service on time, Lufthansa may have little choice but to keep its Queens flying longer than planned. Ultimately, the 747's role in Lufthansa's fleet is unique, both in terms of commercial efficiency and brand power. That means its retirement will be shaped not just by technical or economic factors, but also by strategic and emotional considerations. Maybe this truly will be the Queen's final dance. Or perhaps, under the right circumstances, we'll witness an unexpected second wind in aviation history. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more content like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you at 40,000 feet.